was brought up during such tumultuous times. There was a sense of fear.
We were young boys. We did not have any real significance of the bombing. Later on, we realized what war was.
When we heard the news, we feel that our brothers, we want to go and help them to fight.
We have to need a fighting men, whether it's regular, whether it's NS, whether it's volunteers.
You got to take defense seriously. Should not take peace for granted. Anything can go wrong.
What we have taken for granted in today's life of Singapore will all be gone if somebody else comes here and rules over us. That is something which we have got to remember for always.
Before the SAF Veteran League was formed, the only sort of veterans organization or retirees association was the British Ex-Services Association. People who joined it should have been serving in the British Army and not the Singapore Armed Forces. So there was a thought that we should do something. And our Minister of Defence then, Dr. Goh Keng Swee, felt an SAF Veterans League should be formed.
SAF Veterans League is now 25 years old. We started off in 1990. Today, the SAF Veterans League comprises of members of first generation SAF, second generation SAF, and very soon some of the third generation SAF members will also join us.
Part of the way the SAF Veterans League evolved and new roles were looked upon, we became part of the world's veterans organization, and John Morris was the man who actually pushed this through.
We were invited by Lau Kee Seong, who is the Vice President of Veterans League, to join in their missions in their various countries around the region and participate as observer members.
In the initial period of time, we did a lot of work, especially in the area of national education.
So we've found a role for veterans to be able to go out to the schools to talk about the importance of defense, and here they have credibility.
What we can do as veterans is pass on this love that we have for Singapore, the dream, the enthusiasm. That's the thing that we can carry on. It's like passing on a torch to them.
The veterans, they actually have a wealth of experience that is very good for the students. They provide a lot of authentic learning for the students, because even as teachers, when we tell the stories, it is not as compelling.
Things that they share, the experiences that they have, okay, bridge the gap and understanding what actually we have went through all these 50 years. It's almost like a life history lesson, but a more interactive way, because you get to talk to them, interact with them, rather than you just read it from the text.
Out of training for UIP, we were brought suddenly to the exterior part of McDonald's house. They brought out 4 veterans during that period. One of the officers, he talked through his cadet life and how he commissioned, and the very first day they were asking for people to go out on that very fateful patrol of Konfrontasi where the 9 people died, and he volunteered as a second left, a young second left, which actually at that moment I was. That moment itself really brought me into what it means to be an officer of the Singapore Armed Forces.
It wasn't just purely about success and heroism. They were stories of failure and, in some cases, despair. I think it's very important that we continue to carve out time to create these touch points for the veterans with our soldiers.
With things being normal, there's less concern for defense and the need for defense. And we in the Veterans League can in fact play quite an important role in this area, especially with the experiences in other countries, and also seeing that things can change very rapidly, and when things change, it will be too late to go back to the old status quo.
A society that doesn't know where it came from isn't going to be able to face the future. The veterans will give us that ballast, that context, that history that will allow us to go forward understanding where we came from and where we are going to.
We were part of the pioneer generations. We gave up a lot to build, hopefully, a good country for our children to live in.
See, we did not have sophisticated equipment and procedure, and we went through the hard way to develop doctrine.
When we were on board the Panglima, we have to throw the seawater, we have to put the sand, we have to use the corals, to scrub the deck.
You know why I do guard unit? Because you have merged with Malaysian, right? Then we break off, and then the Istana no guard. I had to form up the guard unit.
Remember that I was born a British subject. You need a sense of belonging. Who are we? Where are we? What are we? We are a country of our own.
One of the main roles that the Singapore Armed Forces Veterans League is to make sure that at every stage we can narrate, we can relate our value system to the children.
We did it our way. Now you've got to go and do it your way, but with the same idea of what you're trying to do for Singapore itself.
Women in the SAF, there is life after the SAF. They could actually mentor and coach our citizens to the importance of our defense in Singapore. The SAF Veterans League is the best platform for them to do that.
Don't take for granted. Make sure that you take seriously your training. When you're on duty, you make sure you give your heart, your mind, your soul to be on duty.
I was born here, brought up here. My family, my friends, we are all part of Singapore.
Another 50 years to think about. So I believe the Veterans League has got a very promising career with more and more officers coming in and contributing to the family.
The SF Veterans League will be in a better position to attract more people in, and I think they should work hard to see that it's a place they should be members of and continue with their association with the SF through the Veterans League.
I certainly wish to see, SAF Veterans League bring the camaraderie of the ex-regular together, bring pride to the nation. We have been uniformed personnel. We want to continue to play a large role.
We,
members of the Singapore Armed Forces,
do solemnly and sincerely pledge that
we will always bear true faith and allegiance
to the President
and the Republic of Singapore.
We will always support
and defend the Constitution.
We will preserve and protect
the honor and independence
of our country
with our lives.
with our lives.
with our life.